Okay, hopefully this is going to be a demonstration video for the unexpected party alternate exit using the butter churn and all of the glitchiness surrounding that. I'll have time to explain some of the finer details of it as we're walking the butter churn to the Green Dragon Inn. But first of all, we have to make sure that the butter churn is in its glitchy state where its hitboxes so I'll just explain it like this. If I stand on the butter churn and pick it up right now, its old hitbox goes away as soon as I pick it up. And that makes sense. That's good programming. That's the way it should behave. But if I walk here onto Hannah's porch, all of a sudden all of its properties have changed. And when I pick it up, the old hitbox no longer gets deleted. The old hitbox does get deleted when I put it back down, most of the time. There are ways I can do this where I can pick it up, move it somewhere else, and both hitboxes will stay in the same place. And using that, I can tower, well, essentially as high as I want into the air, which means I can reach the alternate exit to this level that's located 20 meters in the air above the Green Dragon Inn. But first, we need to get this there. So I'm putting it halfway through an invisible wall here that I'm just going to use it to jump over another invisible wall, pick it up, and keep on walking. Then I'm going to do something even fancier with it, where I'm going to use it to clip through an invisible wall. Something we previously had no way of doing at all. So if I put it down, and I don't move at all, I'm now inside of its collision. And from inside of its collision, I can walk through an invisible wall, which is just absurd. That shouldn't be possible. So I'm going to use the debug fast forward here to avoid having to sit through 5 minutes of me walking to the Green Dragon Inn. So the rules about when the old hitboxes get deleted and when they don't are a bit confusing. If you put it down in the new spot that's more than 2 meters away from any of its previous hitboxes, it won't delete those hitboxes. And if you put it down at a new height than its previous hitboxes, it won't delete those hitboxes. So like it essentially checks within 2 meters horizontally and at about the same height to see if there's any of its old hitboxes there, and if there is, they get deleted. But we can sort of exploit the way this works to just make a great big tower or staircase of these as we need and get wherever we want to go. It's all a lot more nuanced than that. There's a lot of exceptions and strange behaviors that I don't understand and can't explain, but we'll stick with that explanation for now. So, now we're pretty much where we want to start towering up. The goal is going to be to get on top of the fence with the butter churn, and then using the butter churn, hit the trigger. Now, the fence might look like it's 2 feet tall. In reality, it's closer to 20, 21 meters, something like that tall. It's really tall. So I'm going to put the butter churn down there, and since this is a demonstration, I should probably actually make all the collisions visible. I'm going to try to do a video later where I don't have collisions visible and I'm doing this without any debug tools. I've been practicing it. It's possible, it's just not easy. So if I pick this up, I'm going to move it way over here. I'm going to put it up against this wall. And I'm going to put a stack too high. So you see when I put that down, this old collision got deleted. But I still have a collision over here because it's far away. And I can use this to jump back onto it and get on top of the wall with it. There we go. So now I'm on the wall with it. The end goal is going to be to slowly tower up right here until I can get onto the fence with it. But I also need to build a little staircase way off to the side that isn't going to be deleted as I tower up, that I can use to keep jumping back on top of it so that I can keep carrying it higher and higher. So I'm going to walk to about the edge of this leaf here. That'll do. So it's weird because when I place it on top of itself, it deletes the other collision, or at the very least deletes the top of the other collision. But if I pick it back up and place it under itself, both collisions are perfectly capable of coexisting. Which it doesn't make sense, and whether or not that behavior happens does actually depend on what surface you start on. Now I fell down, which if I did that in the real thing without the debug tools open, I would just have to restart. But I'm just going to fly back up because this is a demonstration video. Yeah, now I'm just going to walk back over to the corner and start the tower. So in terms of doing this without debug mode, I did it once when I wasn't recording after about 2 or 3 hours of practice, and I can usually get to the point where I have the tower about 2 or 3 churns high before I mess up, and 4 churns is the point where we're pretty much done and there's nothing left to mess up. So that's 3 churns high. Now I have to start using my tower I made to get on top of it. Now we're 4 churns high, so if I get back on top of it now, I can get on the fence. So this is going to be hard because I have to actually do a slash jump and jump attack to do that. And if I slash jump too close to the front of a churn collision, I'll just fly forward and not actually jump. Ooh, didn't quite make it. Actually, I'm going to, just in case I miss, I don't want to have to redo this recording, so I'm going to turn on invincibility mode. But I think you can trust that normally jumping from here to there isn't going to cause you to take any damage. I'm just doing it in case I mess up. You gotta wait for my stamina to recharge. Nope. Didn't make it. Let's hope that I don't have to restart. I think I should be fine. Like, this should be barely possible. I could have built this tower a decent bit closer in retrospect. That is to say, I could have built my staircase right here a decent bit closer to the tower so I didn't have to jump as far. And you see right there, that's what happens if you're too close to the front when you jump. You don't actually jump, you just slash forward. That was a very poorly timed slash. If I don't get it this time, I'm just going to fly up to it, and you'll have to trust me that it can be done. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to fly up to it and show you the next steps. So from here, you jump on top of the fence, you pick it back up, and you just start walking towards the front door of the Green Dragon Inn. There's going to be this one spot where there's a bump in the ground, so you have to put it down, jump over it, and pick it back up. That's only going to be a problem in one spot. Other than that, it's just walking. We want to make sure that this is exactly in front of the door as we can get it, because we are not necessarily at the height where we can afford to be too far off. So once you're there, you just put it down. Well, once you're at the point where you're essentially at the fence in front of the Green Dragon Inn door, you want to put it down towards the door so that you have an extra distance towards the trigger you're trying to hit. Jump on top, move to the front, then we're just going to long jump and mash interact, and you hit the trigger. And as you can see, the only chest we have is the chest for the walking stick, and the only quest we have is for collecting the walking stick.